Okay, so kind of summarize the triangle congruence, a different way to prove triangles are congruent. So first one, okay, over here you got SSS, right? So side, 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 right? So SSS. This one you have the SAS, so side, angle, side, side, angle, side. So notice the angle has to be between the two sides. Okay, then you have the ASA. So in this case, the side is between the two angles. So again, you got ASA. So you got ASA. Okay. Then you have the AAS. Okay, because this is kind of came from here. Because if the two angles are congruent, then the third one will be also congruent. And again, if this were congruent, become ASA. Right. So this is two. Okay. Now the one that the book didn't really cover a lot is the triangle one. Okay. So when you have a triangle, but before we go, notice over here there's no AAA, right? Okay, so AAA is no good. Okay, the reason for that is because you can come up with a counter example. Okay, so you can have 60 degrees, right? Equilateral triangle, but you can have a big one, right? But they are not congruent; they are similar. So this is a counter example. Okay, this is a counter example that the AAA is not going to work. Okay. Now the way to remember is remember AAA. You know, like in World War II, AAA stands for anti-aircraft artillery. So this is what it used to shoot down enemy airplanes. Okay. So again, AAA no good. Okay. Now another one is no good is notice there's no ASS. Okay, the way to remember is that ASS is an animal. Okay, it's not a postulate. Okay, and the reason this one is no good because look at the theorem. Okay, so again come up with the counter examples. So you got angle and you got sine, right? But notice it does not have to be congruent because you can have this kind of situation, right? So congruent and congruent, right? But instead of going this way, this one can come this way. See that? So ASS is not going to work because of this kind of situation. Because this side can go this way or can go that way. Okay? And they can have the same length. See that? Okay. So if you extend this, notice you can kind of see that. So they can swing over. Okay. So that's why the ASS is not good. And again, remember, the way I help you to remember that is that ASS is an animal. Okay? It's not a postulate. That's how you kind of remember that. There's no such thing. Okay? Okay, now let's go ahead and look at the right triangle. Now, because the right triangle, the angle is already congruent. So all you need is two more letters because you already have one that's congruent already. Okay? Now, the HL kind of related to SSS. Okay? Because when you have right triangle, you can use Pythagorean theorem, okay, just like the one we did earlier, like this triangle, right? You got 3, 4, 5, right? So if you know two sides, you can figure out a third side. Use the a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. Okay. So once you know the two sides, you can use Pythagorean theorem to know the third side, and it becomes SSS. See that? So that's how these kind of are related. Okay. Now notice LL. Okay. So this is the leg, right? LL. But notice same thing, right? So basically what you have, this came from the SAS. So LL came from SAS. See, look here, see that? So you can see the matching. Okay. So this is the SAS. So LL is basically the SAS. So they are kind of going together. Okay. Now LA, okay, kind of related to ASA. Okay, because LA is the leg and the angle. Okay, so you got one leg and you got angle. Okay, so this one came from here, right? So you got the ASA. See that? Okay. Now HA is hypotenuse and the angle. Okay, this kind of related to AAS. Okay, because again, see that? See the marking? See the similarity? Okay. Okay. So you can use any of these, okay, to prove the triangle congruence. So this is very useful summary. So kind of make sure you're familiar with it, and it will be helpful when you use it to solve the proof of the triangle congruence.